The annual Henderson family business meeting filled our mansion's grand library with designer suits and practiced condescension. I stood in the corner, wearing a simple black dress that probably cost less than anyone else's shoes in the room. Now that quarterly projections are done, my mother announced, we need to discuss household duties. She picked up an antique silver broom and dustpan set. Alexandra, since you're not involved in the company, someone needs to clean up. My older sister Jennifer smirked from behind her laptop. I accepted the broom, hiding my smile. If they only knew that while they discussed their modest tech company's quarterly earnings, I was revolutionizing the entire industry through my own corporation, one I'd built in secret over the past 5 years. The cleaning service quit again? I asked innocently, knowing exactly why. I'd acquired their company last month, along with most of our competitors' support services. Good help is so hard to find, Mom sighed, turning back to the family. Now Jennifer's new software project. My phone buzzed silently in my pocket. Another billion-dollar acquisition complete. My global tech empire had just expanded again, though my family still thought I was finding myself after dropping out of their precious MBA program. At least some of us are maintaining the family legacy, my brother David said pointedly, adjusting his expensive tie. The butler appeared in the doorway looking somewhat flustered. Pardon the interruption, but there's an urgent call from Forbes magazine. Must be about my new startup, Jennifer preened. Actually, the butler cleared his throat. They're requesting to confirm details for next month's cover story. America's most powerful tech CEO? The room fell silent. I set down the broom and removed my apron. That would be me, I said quietly. The look on their faces was worth every moment of their previous dismissal. But they hadn't seen anything yet. The real revelation was about to begin. You. Jennifer's voice cracked. But you're just the cleaning lady? I smiled, pulling out my phone as another notification came through. You might want to check your company's stock price. I believe it's dropping rather dramatically right now. What do you mean? David demanded, grabbing his tablet. I mean, I said, straightening my simple dress, that while you were all busy giving me cleaning duties, I was building the largest tech conglomerate in the Western Hemisphere. And yes, I just acquired controlling interest in Henderson Tech. The library erupted in chaos as David frantically refreshed his stock ticker. Jennifer's laptop slipped from her perfectly manicured fingers, clattering onto the antique desk. This is impossible, my mother whispered, sinking into her leather chair. You've been living at home doing odd jobs. Market research, I corrected her, bringing up a holographic display from my phone. Every cleaning job, every maintenance task, every time you made me serve drinks at corporate events. I was learning how tech companies really operate. From the ground up. The display showed my corporate empire, Quantum Tech Industries. While they'd been focused on their mid-sized software company, I'd been revolutionizing quantum computing, artificial intelligence and digital infrastructure. But your failed startup, Jennifer stammered. 3 years ago. Was a cover, I smiled, remembering how they'd mocked my little app idea at family dinners. While you were laughing, I was building the technology that's about to make your entire product line obsolete. The butler appeared again, this time with an iPad. Ms. Alexandra, the Forbes photographer, is here for the cover shoot. And Mr. Gates is on line 1 about the merger. Bill Gates. David's face went ashen. You know Bill Gates? Had dinner with him last week, I replied, checking my messages. Right after I acquired his new quantum computing division. My mother stood shakily, her perfect composure cracking. But you live in the guest house. You take the bus. I own the bus company, I said, pulling up more data. Part of our green transportation initiative. And that guest house is where I built the prototype for our quantum processor. The one that just made your entire server farm irrelevant. The holographic display shifted to show real-time stock data. Henderson Tech's share price was plummeting as news of the acquisition spread. My family watched in horror as their company value dropped by millions every minute. The board meeting starts in an hour, I continued, picking up my designer bag. The one they'd assumed was a knockoff. Your executive team is waiting in my office. The real one, not the cleaning cupboard you gave me last Christmas. Your office. Jennifer's voice cracked again. Top floor, Quantum Tech Tower. The building that's been blocking your view for the past year. I smiled. The one Mom keeps complaining about. The butler stepped forward again. Your helicopter is ready on the back lawn, Miss Alexandra. Helicopter, my mother whispered. Did you think all those gardening jobs were just about pulling weeds? I gestured to the immaculate gardens visible through the library windows. I was measuring for the helipad, though I usually take my private jet from the airport we built last summer. David collapsed into a chair, his expensive tie suddenly looking cheap. The airport? The one that took over Dad's old golf club? Poetic, isn't it? I checked my watch. A subtle Patek Philippe that cost more than their annual revenue. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a cover shoot to attend. Oh, and Mom. I picked up the silver broom, running my finger along its handle. This antique set? It's a fake. Like most things in this house, it's just for show. I walked toward the door, then turned back one last time. The real cleaning service starts Monday. I suggest you be nicer to them. They all have equity in quantum tech now. Part of our employee empowerment program. The library remained silent as I left, the sound of helicopter rotors growing louder outside. Through the window, I caught one last glimpse of my family's faces as they realized that while they'd been maintaining their illusion of success, I'd been building something real. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's success they never saw coming, even while they were handing you a broom. The Forbes photo shoot wrapped up just as my executive team arrived for the board meeting. I kept my family waiting in the lobby of Quantum Tech Tower for exactly 47 minutes. 1 minute for each time they'd made me wait while finishing up important business. Your family is here, Ms. Alexandra, my assistant Emma announced. The same Emma who my sister Jennifer had rejected as underqualified for an entry-level position at Henderson Tech last year. Now she was running operations for a trillion-dollar company. Send them up, I said, adjusting the subtle lighting in my penthouse office. And Emma? Make sure they see every floor on the way up. Each floor told a story they needed to see. Our quantum computing labs, AI research centers, and most importantly, our employee development program where former service workers were becoming tech leaders. They entered my office looking shell-shocked. The 100-story ascent had given them plenty of time to see exactly what I'd built while they thought I was just cleaning. Nice view, I said, gesturing to the cityscape behind me. You can almost see our old house from here. Though I believe it's being converted into a tech training center now. You bought the house, my mother's voice cracked. I bought the neighborhood, I corrected her, bringing up a holographic map. Part of our urban renewal project. We're turning it into an innovation district. Jennifer stepped forward, her designer heels sinking into the plush carpet. About my software project. The one you've been bragging about at family dinners? I pulled up her company's specs. Our AI analyzed it last week. Found 16 critical flaws and an outdated architecture. But we spent 2 years playing catch-up, I finished for her. While you were developing traditional software, we were revolutionizing how computers think. Would you like to see? I pressed a button and the office walls transformed into a 360-degree display of our quantum network. Billions of calculations happened in real time, solving problems that their entire company couldn't touch. This is what I was building in that messy guest house workshop, I explained, while you were complaining about the noise. David tugged at his collar. The acquisition, our company, is being absorbed into our legacy systems division. I brought up the corporate structure. You're welcome to stay on, of course. Starting in junior positions. Junior. Jennifer's face flushed. But I'm a senior executive. At a company that's now obsolete. I stood, walking to the window. But I'm offering you something better. A chance to learn. Really learn from the ground up. Like I did. My mother sank into a chair. All those times we made you clean up after corporate events. Were opportunities, I nodded. I learned how companies waste resources, how they treat people, what they miss while focusing on appearances. My phone buzzed. Another acquisition complete. Excuse me, I said, checking the message. Our Tokyo office just closed a deal that's about to change the internet as we know it. The internet? David whispered. Did you think I was just tidying up all those years? I smiled. I was building the future. Now you have to decide. Are you ready to be part of it? This is absurd, Jennifer tried one last time. You can't just walk in and... The office door opened as my executive team filed in, all former service workers, maintenance staff, and underqualified applicants that companies like Henderson Tech had rejected. Actually, I can, I replied, taking my seat at the head of the conference table. And I already have. Emma, please show them the numbers. Emma, now our chief operating officer, pulled up the acquisition details. Henderson Tech's market value has dropped 70% since opening bell. Our offer is the only thing keeping it from complete collapse. 70%? David grabbed the tablet, his hands shaking. But our projections were based on outdated technology, I finished. While you were protecting your family legacy, the industry moved forward. We moved forward. The display shifted to show our global reach. Quantum computers revolutionizing medicine, AI systems solving climate change, digital infrastructure rebuilding economies. That cleaning cupboard you gave me for an office? I continued. It's now a server node for a network that's rewriting the rules of computing. Those maintenance checks you made me do were cover for installing the most advanced digital infrastructure in the hemisphere. My mother stood up suddenly. The charity events, all those times you served drinks, were perfect for meeting potential investors, I nodded. Amazing how much people reveal to someone they think is just part of the service staff. Like when your board chairman complained about selling his shares right before we began buying them. Jennifer's face went pale. You orchestrated this whole thing. I built this whole thing, I corrected her. The question is, what are you going to do now? I slid 3 folders across the table, one for each of them. What are these? David asked. Your options, I replied. You can either accept positions in our entry-level development program, starting with actual cleaning duties to learn about corporate waste and efficiency, or you can cash out now. Either way, Henderson Tech becomes part of Quantum Tech by midnight. Entry level? Jennifer's voice rose. You expect us to clean? Like you expected me to? I smiled. Consider it an education. One you clearly need. My phone buzzed again. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a video call with our Mars colonization partners. Emma will show you out, through the service entrance of course. For old time's sake. As they stood to leave looking dazed, I added one final twist. Oh, and Mom? Remember last Christmas when you said I should, at least learn proper housekeeping, if I wasn't going to join the family business? She nodded mutely. I did learn. I learned that real success isn't about corner offices and executive titles. It's about building something that actually works from the ground up. Sometimes literally with a broom in your hand. The door closed behind them as my executive team took their seats. Through the glass walls I could see my family being escorted to the service elevator. The same one they used to make me use. 3 months after the Quantum Tech revelation, I stood in the company's main lobby, watching new employees arrive for orientation. Among them, looking decidedly uncomfortable in standard-issue company uniforms, were Jennifer, David, and, surprisingly, my mother. They'd all chosen option A, starting over from the bottom. Though I suspect it had less to do with personal growth and more to do with their frozen assets. Good morning, cleaning team. I greeted them, enjoying how Jennifer's perfectly manicured hands clutched her company-issued cleaning supplies. Ready for your first real day of work? This is unnecessary, Jennifer muttered. We have MBAs. So does Maria. I nodded toward our head of maintenance. A brilliant engineer who'd been working as a janitor when I discovered her solving quantum equations on her break. Though she earned hers while actually cleaning offices, not just ordering others to do it. My mother stepped forward, looking strange without her usual designer outfit. Alexandra, surely we can. Can what? I interrupted. Skip the hard parts. Like you made me skip family dinners because I was just the help? The lobby screens lit up with breaking news. Quantum Tech's latest innovation had just doubled our stock price. My phone buzzed with congratulations from world leaders and tech pioneers. Your sections are assigned, I continued. Jennifer, you'll start with the quantum lab floors. David, the AI research department. Mom, the executive offices. The executive offices? My mother brightened slightly. Need the most work, I smiled. Amazing how messy people get when they think someone else will clean up after them. My assistant, now chief of corporate culture, approached with a tablet. The Gates Foundation called. They want to increase their investment in our education initiative. Perfect timing, I replied. Show them what we're doing with reformed tech executives. The morning progressed as I moved through the building, watching my family learn lessons I'd mastered years ago. Jennifer discovered that quantum physicists actually listen to cleaning staff who understand their equations. David found that AI researchers share breakthroughs with maintenance workers who show genuine interest. And my mother, well, these executive bathrooms, she said during lunch break, looking exhausted. The things people say when they think you're invisible. Enlightening, isn't it? I sat beside her in the employee cafeteria, the same one I'd designed to be nicer than most five-star restaurants. Amazing what you learn when you stop looking down on people. The cleaning staff, they're all discussing advanced technology, she admitted. That woman who cleaned the quantum lab? She has 3 patents. For now, I corrected her. We approved her latest innovation this morning. Part of our Every Voice Matters initiative. The afternoon brought more surprises. Jennifer found herself debugging code with a former janitor who'd taught himself programming during night shifts. David discovered that the maintenance team had solutions to problems his MBA hadn't covered. By evening, as they gathered in my office for evaluation, something had changed. The quantum lab team, Jennifer said quietly, they asked me to join their research group. After I helped solve their waste management issue. Turns out knowing how to actually clean a lab is useful, I nodded. Who knew? David looked up from his tablet. The AI department offered me a junior developer position. If I complete the maintenance certification first. Knowledge flows both ways, I said, bringing up the company's unique organizational chart. Every executive here started somewhere else. Usually with a broom. My mother stayed silent, staring out at the city lights. Something wrong, Mom? I found my old cleaning uniform, she finally said. From college. Before Dad's company took off. I used to. Her voice cracked. I used to clean offices too. I know, I smiled gently. Grandma told me. Right before she helped me buy my first quantum processor. The one you thought was a vacuum cleaner. The screens behind us showed quantum tech's global impact. Revolutionary technologies transformed lives, barriers broken. All because someone took the time to look beyond appearances. There's still time, I told my family. To build something real. Something that matters. Like what? Jennifer asked. Like a company where the cleaning staff can become CEOs. Where maintenance workers can revolutionize technology. Where success isn't about which door you use to enter the building. My phone buzzed with another update. Our Mars project had achieved its first breakthrough. The team, led by a former window washer who'd studied astrophysics between buildings. Welcome to the real family business, I said, watching the future unfold on our screens. Now grab your brooms. We've got a world to clean up.